Okay, so I'm gonna play a couple of clips for you. A lot of these are going to be from like the 90s and the 80s and stuff. A lot of them are like really good quality. Like at the time, usually stuff didn't look this good. A couple of these are even gonna be HD. Way before it was even like a consumer thing. So yeah, here's some clips.
Sparky Bean. Sparky Bean.
So here's a clip of a bunch of people walking around in New York City in 1993, and everybody's like looking straight up. And I mean, it looks normal, like it doesn't look weird or out of place. But if you were to look at that same kind of a thing today, like half of everybody's looking down. Nobody's even really looking where they're going. I like it when people walk around normal and not looking at their phones and admiring the world around them. Simple times, no annoying devices, no smartphones, no distractions. And I'm completely aware that I'm about to sound like an old fart. I'm about to sound like an old grandparent, but I think that this is true, and I think more people are starting to think like this, so I'm gonna keep going. The 90s had a balance between life and technology. There was still life on Earth. Okay, that's a little crazy, but I think it's true, because back in like the 90s and the 2000s, you had like, even earlier, you had like really good music quality, you had good enough video to capture your life's events, you had music players, especially with like the Walkman and stuff, and iPods, but it didn't consume your life. Like you weren't totally focused on your phone 24/7. Like you did other things and you interacted with people, and it didn't impact your social literacy at all. Like you would still be able to talk with everybody just fine, but today people are way more socially anxious, and we're all not actually paying attention to the people we're talking to, and we're just so disconnected. I'm gonna keep going. I love how people didn't care to be filmed back then. Also, did people look more happy in general? I think they did. People were like smiling and they were enjoying the things around them instead of only getting their happiness from their phone and memes and stuff. Which memes are still funny. It's just people, it's interesting to see people deriving more happiness out of life than just their phones. Looking back, it really was the last decade of presence and intimacy. When you were walking down the street, that was what you were doing. When you were hanging out with a friend somewhere, that was the person you were with. This was it. Wall at everybody talking to each other. Social media ruined the world. Now that one's a little controversial, but now obviously I'm talking with social media right now as I speak. So it would be a little hypocritical of me to say that social media is entirely bad. And that's the thing, is the issue is that we're not being moderate with it. We're letting it consume our lives, and like that's how we communicate with people. Like I like the idea of being able to talk with people globally. I think that is an amazing thing, and it's an amazing feat that we've been able to do that as people. Like, I can go and talk to somebody in Britain just like that, and it will be real-time conversation. I can see their face, and that's amazing. That is such a huge breakthrough. It's just, we need to know when to use those things, and it's just, these things are so amazing and so attractive, and like, it's just, there's so many options, and instead of just focusing on ourselves and the people around us, we tend to go with those exciting, crazy options and all these new fancy, plasticky, bright-colored things that we have like on our phones. So what I'm saying is it's not bad that we have social media. I don't believe that. I think that social media is still a great thing. It's just, I think that we are letting it become too big of who we are as people. I think that it definitely has a place, and it's definitely great for connecting you with people who aren't right next to you, but we shouldn't let it take us away from the people we're close with. Know that it has a place. Don't feel bad if you're on Instagram or something, obviously. It's just, know that it's best if it's in moderation, and there's so many other great things that are waiting for you outside, like friends and family, and don't forget about those amazing things, because that's what life is really about. Don't live a superficial life on your phone. again, it has its place, but there's so much more out there that you're missing out on if that's all you're doing. That's all I got for today. I would not have been able to make this video without that coffee. I almost fell asleep like 5 minutes ago. Okay, see you.